those of you that are on here early, can you hear me? How is my sound? Thanks, guys. I'm gonna mute myself, but you can still you can message me here over in the side if you have any questions. Good morning, everybody. We'll give about 3 more minutes to see if anybody else joins us. Hope you all can hear me okay. My air just kicked on, so if that's too much of a distraction, let me know. Actually, I'm going to get up and turn it off right now while we're waiting. All right, good morning, everybody. This has been a topsy-turvy sort of year that we are going to review, and we're also going to do things differently this morning for our annual meeting. Obviously, you see me here in my office. I hope you can see me okay. I'm using just the computer camera this morning. We've got our other cameras set up and ready to record the 10:30 service. Better put my glasses back on so I can read that screen. It's a little farther away than I thought. But because of the variations, because of everything that's going on, and also because of the fact that we actually have had some of these COVID infections hit a little closer to home lately, it's going to look a little different. I'm sorry, I just got a message there. I was just checking to see if it was in reference to this, but it wasn't. What we're going to do this morning is play some videos, some messages from some of our staff members, our outgoing vestry, our incoming vestry, our senior warden, our junior warden, our treasurer, and then I'll come back on and I'll give my report here live. These videos were recorded already that we're going to play for you. And, you know, one of the most important things I think about an annual meeting is the ability for you all to be able to ask questions. It's a little more difficult because I'm the only one here. I have some answers to some things, but there's a lot of questions that Bill can answer better, or Daphne or John Hungerford could maybe answer better. And so in anticipation of that, we're going to have a follow-up Zoom session later in the week after you've had some time to watch this, look at some of the documents we're going to send out, and that'll give you the chance to come up with some questions you may want to ask, and you can submit those, and we will answer them to the best of our ability. I will give you time this morning to ask some questions, but just know if they're very detailed, especially if they're very detailed financial questions, Bill might be the best one to answer those. And so we'll get together, reconvene again in a little bit down the line, and allow time for those questions to be asked. Because we're recording this morning, I don't see the need for us to have a secretary, also because I'm the only one here. So we will use this video as our record, and we'll translate it to a Word document at a later date. One of the big tasks we'll have, and I'll mention this down the line, one of the big tasks we'll have in the year ahead, once we can get together and meet again, hopefully next year. I know next year we'll be able to meet again. I don't know, but pray next year. Very hopeful that next year we'll be able to meet again for our annual meeting in person. We'll need to change some of our bylaws so that if something like this ever happens again, right? Whether it's because of illness or a natural disaster or just something going on in our community, our bylaws are better prepared for us to handle an annual meeting like this. Luckily, we don't have anything to vote on because we only had 4 vestry members, four people run for vestry for 4 spots. So we're in really good shape, and we'll have time the year ahead to clean up our bylaws, so that if this ever happens again, we're ready. And so, without further ado, I'm going to play this video for you, and then I will come back on and give my talk, and then we'll have space for you to ask some questions. So here we go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2020 annual meeting. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Let us pray. This is another day, O Lord. I know not what it will bring forth, but make me ready, Lord, for whatever it may be. If I am to stand up, help me to stay in bravely. If I am to sit still, help me to sit quietly. If I am to lie low, help me to do it patiently. And if I am to do nothing, let me do it gallantly. Make these words more than words, and give me the spirit of Jesus. Amen.
1.
Hi, I'm Renee Jordan, the media intern at Grace Episcopal Church. I've been working here for about 6 months. It's been great. I've learned a lot from Pickett and from the rest of this community. I'm really excited to continue working. I usually come on Sundays, do the live stream, which has been great. I do a podcast on Spotify. If y'all haven't taken a listen to it, please do. It's called Lectio on Littleton and Lawrence, and we do one every week. Pickett also has a great gospel show on the radio, if y'all haven't had to listen to that. I do a lot of the social media, and I'm just doing a lot of fun stuff here at the church. It's always a good time. I'm really excited for more to come.
Hey, I'm Johnny Cornegi, and I can't wait to serve on the vestry at Grace Church Camden for the next 3 years and serve our church and serve our community. It's going to be such a blessing to do so. I look forward to working with everybody on the vestry, with Pickett, and with getting to know the members of Grace Church better.
Perfect.
Hello, my name's Helen Walker, and I'm very excited to be serving on vestry for the next 3 years. This is a very new arena for me, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity to serve our wonderful Grace community, and I look forward to meeting more of you, and I'm just really looking forward to this, so thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning, God's people. This is Ben Mackey. Thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to serve on the vestry of Grace Church Camden. I'm humbled and grateful for the opportunity. Please let us know how we can serve you in God's kingdom.
Hey everybody, my name is Lisa Long, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself since I am one of the new vestry members at Grace Church. I was born here in Camden, grew up here, went to public schools here in Camden. My work background is in banking. I also worked at the Chamber of Commerce for a while. Most of you know me from the Everyday Gourmet, family business that I ran for about 15 years. I sold it in spring to another Grace Church family member, and am now the assistant librarian at Camden High School, so complete change. My husband, Nikki, is also from Camden, lifelong resident. We've been married for 12 years, been members of Grace for about 11 years. We have 2 little girls, Mary Elizabeth and Anna. They're 4th and 5th graders at Camden Elementary. I look forward to serving on the vestry. I hope I can be of use. See y'all soon.
Hello, Grace Church family. This is Walter, and I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to serve on vestry. It was a great experience. I enjoyed working with Daphne and Pickett and everybody else on vestry, and but I didn't enjoy being secretary for 3 years, but other than that, I did enjoy it. So might even do it again one day, but hope everyone stays safe and look forward to the days that we can get back together and cook grits and have some fellowship. So thank you.
Hi everyone, Amy Kynard here. I am one of the vestry members who will be rolling off this year. It has been my honor and privilege to serve Grace and serve all of you, and I will continue to remain involved and active in our wonderful church family. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Good morning. I'm Bill Herbert. I have the honor of being the treasurer for Grace Episcopal Church. Before I get into this, the numbers, which I know is required, I'd like to thank Pickett and Daphne and the rest of the vestry board for all of the assistance. It's been great working with them for 2020, and I'm looking forward to 2021. To begin with, about a year ago, we sat down and we talked about the year 2020, and we put a budget together. And the first time in 5 years, it was actually a break-even budget where our revenue and our expenses matched. So actual results for 2020 will continue to be break even for the year. How we were able to do that was we were able to qualify for a payroll protection program that resulted in about $30,000, and that allowed us to continue to pay the staff, not have to cut anybody, not have to reduce wages, and it helped cover some of the utility bills, the telephone, so that we will be break even for this year. And it offset the $23,000 worth of pledges that we were short. For 2021, I do not have that luxury. I believe that after an estimated where we expect to be in pledges, and we estimate the expenses for 2021, the result will be a shortfall or a deficit of about $20,000. We will continue to massage those numbers and look at expenses and look at revenue, because again, we haven't finished our stewardship campaign yet. That's still ongoing. And if you haven't pledged, please do so. It'll give us the availability to, at worst case, break even next year. The good thing that we have going for Grace Church is, as always, the past people that have contributed and the conservativeness of what your vestry boards have done in the past. We have a very strong balance sheet. We have no long-term debt, which is very unusual for churches of today. But everybody is working extremely hard to make that continue to happen. Thank you again, and you have a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Please be safe.
Hi, John Hungerford, outgoing junior warden for Grace. It's the end of another year, one that many of us will be happy to say goodbye to. I've enjoyed my time as junior warden, and during that time have learned much about our beloved church and grounds. During my tenure, we have changed most of the church lighting to LED. We still need to get someone with a 40-foot ladder for the floods in front of the sanctuary, but the bulbs have already been procured. Last year, dealing with the water-damaged office and classroom building was not something anyone could have predicted. But fortunately, we already had tentative plans to remodel that and were able to bring those plans forward. More to come for remodeling the sanctuary in Richardson Hall. A few of the other projects that I've been involved in as junior warden are repairing the gate latches to the Memorial Garden, ongoing fire ant remediation, plumbing or commode repairs, replacing the water heater for the kitchen, I hired James Dennis a couple of years ago to help trim trees and hedges and keep the just keep the grounds hopefully a little cleaner looking. Got involved with the insurance company to repair the roof over the sanctuary, and also worked with them for the repair and remodel of the office and classroom building. Putting up and taking down the manger scene with lots of help from some of the other guys. Purchasing garden hoses for watering the grounds, and a number of various other small projects throughout my tenure that I can't remember off the top of my head. Father Pickett and the other vestry members have been a joy to work with. Hopefully this pandemic will be over soon so we can return to some kind of normalcy. Vicki and I are still quarantined for the duration, as we do spend a few days a week with my parents who are in their mid-90s. We hope to be able to return for an inside service or Club 55 in 2021. We miss seeing our Grace family and hope to be able to catch up soon.
Good morning, everyone, and blessed Advent. I thought since I had to record this from home, I would sit by my Christmas tree. I've enjoyed being on the vestry the last 4 years, 2 years as your senior warden. It's been a wild ride, to say the least, new challenges for sure. I realized that during my 4 years, the search committee worked hard to find Grace a new rector, and we are so lucky that Pickett answered the call in 2017. 2019 was renovations that we were so excited to celebrate in 2020, but we all know how 2020 has turned normal upside down. I know that we all pray that 2021 be a healthier year for everyone. Thank you to everyone that has turned in their stewardship pledges. If you need more information or have misplaced your packet, just give the office a call. I hope everybody loved the mask that we had in those packets. I hope that everyone is making the participation pledge for 40 Sundays. This Sunday would be the second Sunday of that pledge. This pledge can be for in-person or for virtual, whichever works best for you. Our virtual programming is going to continue to grow. Our in-person programming will also continue to grow in different ways than before. But we want to make sure that as we move through the next months and the seasons, that each and every one of you are able to worship and participate in the way that it works best for you. There's a wonderful hymn during Advent. It's called Wait for the Lord. And I love it when our choir sings this. Wait for the Lord, whose day is near. Wait for the Lord. Keep watch. Take heart. May you all have a safe and healthy holiday season.
All right, everybody. Thank you to all those who were able to come in or send in a video letting us know a little bit about themselves, letting us know whether they're coming on or coming off of vestry. Thank you for Bill. For our treasurer's report, and to our wardens, Daphne and John, for their reports. I'm pretty sure, I think we've got a really, we might have a really bad lag. So if you have any questions, you feel free to go ahead and submit them over in the comment section. I won't, I'm not going to address them until I'm done talking in a minute or two, but, you can go ahead and start submitting them whenever, because I do think we've got a little bit of a lag between me sending the video and you receiving it, and that might help fill some of that time in there. This has been a crazy year. I mean, we've said it. We say it a million. Like everyone's sick of hearing it. It's ad nauseum. But in the midst of this craziness, we have persisted, and honestly, we've had a few crazy years. I wonder what will happen if we get a year without a, global pandemic or a pipe flooding our buildings. I wonder what we might be able to do with a year like that. Hopefully we have one coming. I'll take one out of every 10. That'd be nice. But it has been a crazy year, and we have persisted though. I was listening to an interview on the way into church this morning. It was with one of the founders of the Justice and Peace Museum. It's a guy named Brian Stevenson. I think actually his story has become a movie. I can't remember the name of it, but if I remember it, I'll tell you. But anyway, he was talking about justice initiatives, and he said that if you're not hopeful, then you're part of the problem. And I think that applies really to our work here at Grace Church too. If you are not hopeful, you are part of the problem. Your vestry and I are very hopeful, and I know that many of you are. And more than that, we're confident. We're going to be fine. Regardless of what else this year or the next decade has to throw at us. We're going to keep working. Just mercy. Thank you, Karen. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep working really hard at this and keep plugging along. And we really are in fantastic shape to weather this storm. Well, there's some complications, of course, but we are in fantastic shape to weather this storm. And when this storm fades away, in fantastic shape to keep on moving. And we're moving and growing in the midst of this, in the midst of all of this. And I want to stress that importance, though, to all of you of hopefulness, because we are building something here at Grace. We always have been. We are always laying the groundwork for the next generation that comes ahead. That is what we are doing. That is our most important work. And so every little thing that we do, the simplest little actions can transform our community, can make a tremendous difference. And it's especially true in times like these. Every little thing that we do. And so by that, I mean every cent that you give. It's tremendously important. It's especially important now. Every time that you show up, either in person or in line, is critically important. It is so important. I know I'm preaching to the choir because I think there's about 40 of you out there. And I see the names that are on here. So I know you are the ones that show up. But we really need to cultivate that discipline. We need to cultivate that level of faith in as many of our parishioners as we can. I'll share a story with you guys that I shared with Vestry. No names in this story, but we had some parishioners go on a camping trip with some parishioners of another church in town, a bunch of families. And Sunday morning, all of those families at that other church woke up at 5 a.m. so they could drive back and be at church that Sunday together, right? Now, this is not to scold our family that didn't decide to do that. It's only to say that is a level of commitment that we need to begin to foster, right? We hear a lot of times I hear from, the classic thing that we hear is we don't have any children, we don't have any, young people, we don't have this certain demographic, and yet we actually do. It's just that the majority of our membership comes once a month, and perhaps that's generous. It might be once every 6 weeks, and they actually changed in the Episcopal Church survey. They changed once a month to once in 6 weeks. And so I think that kind of shows where our engagement is. Some of our most important growth that we can do can come from our own people. And so that's a beautiful thing. We just need to be more engaged. And we see this. I say it all the time. We see this on Easter, right? On Christmas Eve. I don't know this year, but on Christmas Eves in normal years, right? On Confirmation Sundays, when the bishop comes, we come out in tremendous support. And so I think it's important that we try and cultivate a practice where our people are doing that on a more regular basis, right? We want to win Sunday morning. It's critical for us. We want people to be there, and hopefully this pledge that Daphne mentioned, the 40 Sunday pledge, will help people do that. We've got about 40 people that have signed up for that, which is great. Hopefully more will sign up. I encourage people to do that. We really want to get everybody engaged. And so I have to say, in segue, I have to say that, I don't think our challenges are over. I believe that this sudden spike in infection rate in our state, and really it's been across the country, but in our state is what we judge our numbers on at the diocese. I think it may cause us to have to do some changes, to revert back to some of the practices we were doing before. It's going to be okay. We are really ready for that. We're much more prepared. Last time this happened, if we do have to go to all online services again for a couple weeks, last time this happened, we didn't even have a camera, to film this with. And so we were scrambling, but we figured it out, and we've learned how to do it, and we're going to continue to do that. And we really are going to be okay. So with that being said, I just want to share some raw data that, about the year, some things that have happened, as we move on. Let's start with, just membership changes. We've had 2 members transfer out, Doris Kling and Stuart Pennebaker. Stuart moved down to Charleston, and we hope she's having a great time down there. And I know one day, maybe she'll come back to Camden and she'll be part of the Grace Church family again. Although she's always part of the Grace Church family, of course. Anyone that's ever been here is part of our family. We've had some transfers some membership changes. Ben Mackey, who will be serving on vestry, though he's a longtime son of Grace Church. Mary Bridges, Keith and Arlene Gaines, Jamie Guy, Charlotte and Elizabeth, Charlotte and Adam and Charlotte Hodge have transferred in. Sorry, I had some commas in some weird places there. And so we are continuing to grow. Members are coming back home in a lot of cases and joining us because of the work that we're doing and because of what we represent in this community. We've lost a lot of members this year, though, as well. We lost Dave Baker. So far, I believe he is our first and only death to COVID-related causes. We lost Billy Bell. We lost David Green. We lost John Cornegay, Waverly Land, Dan Mackey, Richard Markley Jr., Sheila McKinney, Willard Polk, Larry Reese, and Ray Talukian. It's hard. I mean, just hearing those names, it is hard to imagine that we lost so many of our faithful people, just special people to Grace Church in the last year. But we pray for them. We pray for their families. Though many of the people I named on that list are people that have been fundamental to our growth, to our stabilization, to just this community over the years. And many of their family members are continuing that legacy. And I hope that we can learn from many of them and continue. I see a lot of thanks to Rennie out there on the comment section, and Rennie's been doing a great job. We're really excited to have her and happy to have her, and it's been great to watch her learn and grow. She brought a ton of skills already, and so that's been really good. She's walking into my office right now as I'm talking about her. So Rennie's done a very good job. She's easygoing and she's personable, and that is the most important skill anyone can have in a church community. But she's also done a lot of great work for us, so we're really glad to have her. Just a couple of announcements about moving forward and services. Our Christmas Eve service Our big Christmas Eve service is going to be at 3:30. It's going to be outside, and it will be at Rectory Square Park, though we will begin the service here for as many of you that are able. And if you'd like to be a part of the procession but don't think you can make that walk up to Rectory Square Park, let me know. We will get golf carts. We'll make it happen for you. The plan is to get a bagpiper, and we have that secured now. And the bagpiper is going to lead us up in a great procession with incense and crosses and candles and everyone dressed up and ready to go. And we're going to get up there to the park. We're going to read lessons. We're going to sing songs. We're going to enjoy each other's company on that Christmas Eve. We will have some practice for some youth, so pay attention to an announcement coming out about that for our younger children, and some of their participation that they usually have in the Christmas pageant. So the plan is for those, not this Sunday, but the next 2 Sundays, to have those practices, the 13th and the 20th. In addition to that, a couple more outside things that we're going to do is we're planning on having a campfire on December 20th to bless the stockings that evening, late afternoon, and then a campfire on January 6th for Epiphany. We also are going to finally begin our hikes. The first one is going to be January 3rd with a trip up to 40 Acre Rock that Sunday afternoon. And we have Margaret Pennebaker, Jim Burns, Robert Stuckless are all going to lead monthly hikes on Sunday afternoon. So we're really excited about that. We have 2 new ways for you to pledge that are going to be rolling out this year. The first one we've already rolled out. That is our 40 Sunday pledge. Again, really, really excited about that pledge. Really hope. And I tell you, even if the number stays at 40, it's still going to be transformational. It really will. Even if you've got 10 people that show up every Sunday or the majority of Sundays, it makes a huge difference, a spectacular difference in what we do. So every single little thing you do makes a tremendous difference. We also, and there's going to be more to come out on this, but we're very excited about it. We have a very large gift, a sizable gift from one of our parishioners to start an endowment. When is the best time to start an endowment? 150 years ago. If you haven't done that, and you don't have an endowment yet, then the best time to start one is right now, pandemic or not, right? Down year or not. It's time for us to start doing that. And so there will be more to come on this. But we are excited. We have some lofty goals. We want to create something that helps sustain and grow this community every single year with this endowment. So it's not going to be a rainy day fund. That's not what it's for. It's going to be something to create ministry, opportunities, and engagement in this community, and to take care and be good stewards of what our forefathers and foremothers here have given us. And so we're really excited about that. Our pledges were down this year. I think that was to be expected. A lot of it is plate offering. A lot of it is perhaps some people struggling to be able to get those pledges in, and that's okay. I think the latest numbers I have are for 2020, we had 94 pledgers, and they pledged a total of $278,977. So far, we have received $261,000 of that. So from our pledges, that's about, about $17,000 down. And then you add the plate to that, and you get that number that Bill came up with. And so please continue to get your funds in for your pledges this year. Really important. We've got 3/4 of a month left to do that. For 2021, we're a little behind, Part of that is my fault, and that is that we switched our annual meeting earlier so that it will match up with what the rest of the diocese really does. And we did that after we scheduled, after our stewardship program was planned. So normally, remember, we'd be doing this meeting in January. We'd have all our pledges in, and we'd have a better idea of where we are. As of right now, for 2021, we only have 39 people that have returned their pledges. So if you haven't gotten your pledge card in yet, please do that. And for those 39 people, that has come to a total of $145,036. So that's pretty good. Actually, that's tremendous. But we just need more of them to come in. And I have not turned mine in yet either. So I'm going to turn mine in on Monday. And I hope that many of you will turn in yours this week coming up as well. We'll keep reminding you about that. Just some projects ahead. I mentioned bylaws earlier. That's going to be a big part of working through that this year. Kind of preparing those and having a little foresight so we don't ever get caught off guard like this again in that regard. And we'll do the best we can to clean those up and to add flexibility that might be needed. Also, our next sort of construction project is going to be the sacristy. We are going to move, and that should happen hopefully this week. A company called Gaddis Audio out of Columbia is going to come. They're going to move all of our audio equipment up into the balcony. They are going to hide all those ugly wires, suspend some microphones, get us really set up so that we can control all that sound, and that we can also have it tucked away and just cleaned up, and that our systems are communicating with each other. And so that's going to be a great leap forward in our audio abilities and capabilities in the church. And then once we get that electrical, all that sound equipment out of the sacristy, it'll allow us an opportunity to take a look at remodeling that sacristy, which is something we've wanted to do for a very long time, so that it matches the feel and the atmosphere of the sanctuary itself. And so that when you step into that sacristy, you don't feel like you're just sort of stepping into a kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of rundown kitchen somewhere. You feel like you're flowing through our sacred space, and so we're looking forward to that and getting that done. Do you all have any questions at all for me this morning, or for Bill that I can pass along, try to answer? Bill, I think, is on here, so he may be able to answer some via message. But I'd like to just open up for the next 10 minutes and just give you all the opportunity to ask some questions if you have any in the comment section. Yep, Bill's out there, so. Yes, Margaret Pennebaker is asking if there's any way to turn in pledge electronically or by email. If you take a picture of your pledge card and you can email it. You can take a picture of the pledge card and you can email it to Becky at the church, or you can even email it to Tracy if you don't have Becky's email. But if you can send it to the church and get those in, that would be great. You can also don't do that. Send them to Becky if you can via email. You can also, if you don't have your pledge card though, you can really just send her an email that says, I would like to give this amount this year, and she'll put that in. And that would be great. And I will explore this week, perhaps finding a way to put a form on the website, so that people might be able to pledge, continue to sign that pledge throughout the year, which would be great. Not you. I want you all to get yours in now. But if someone joins maybe halfway through the year or something like that, to have those on. So feel free. You can even just call the office and tell Becky. Or you can text it to Bill if you'd like. Bill, do you want to share your phone number up there? And people will have that. Is there a reenactment going on this morning or something? Or is that just the... Anyway, there's fire. There's shooting going on somewhere. So Bill's number is up there in the comment section. You can text that to him, and we'll get that in. Also, we will probably also send out some updated info on pledges, to try and get everyone to get that, finish off their pledges for this year too. So I know that's another thing that I still need to do also, and it's important that we get those in, close off the year strong. All right. Well, we will send out an email from the office this week. It will have some details about the Zoom meeting we are planning for next week to allow you all to ask some more questions if you have any. I'll include some details in there about what to expect. Some of the different programming, some of the details about financials that we sent out. And then you guys will be able to peruse those, take a look at them, come up with any questions you have. I hope to see you all soon, in about 45 minutes at our 10:30 service. So that will be a separate link. We're going to close this one out. 10:30 service will come on. A second one, Rennie's getting that set up right now. So we look forward to seeing all of you at 10:30, and with that, I will close us in prayer. The Lord be with you. O God, you prepared your disciples for the coming of the Spirit through the teaching of your Son, Jesus Christ. Make the hearts and minds of your servants ready to receive the blessing of the Holy Spirit, that they may be filled with the strength of his presence. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. See everybody soon.